Would you guys like to find out how to get your rock colors like this? Well, stay tuned and we'll go into the other room and I'll show you how I did it. Be right back. Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Vid Productions video. This is going to be Major Changes number 31. In this video I'm going to go over the permanent home I gave to my power supply that I showed you guys in my last video. I'll show you how I hooked it all up, and after that we'll get into the more scenery that I've done on the layout. Anyhow, before we get into that, I'd like to do a shout out. This shout out is for a person that lives in Australia. He's an N-scale person. Yay for N-scale. But he is very talented on modifying and detailing locomotives. He also has a cool layout. I'm speaking about Rich, BN Railnut. If you guys take the time, go check out his channel. I'm sure he would appreciate it. And if you like what you see, go ahead and give him a thumbs up. Subscribe to his channel, hit the little bell and all the good stuff like that, so you'll be notified whenever he uploads a video. Okay, now I want to thank all you guys for the contributions to my PayPal account. It's been helping me out a great deal, getting stuff that I need to do my layout and so on and so forth. And so if you guys like what I'm doing, please continue to contribute to my PayPal account. I guess that's about it for now. So let's get on with the video. We'll be right back. Alright guys, now that I showed you how everything is going on with this project, as you can see I've got my terminal strip right here with all my inputs coming out of the power supply, and if you can see it back here, I also labeled each one of the terminals there so I know which is what. I got it placed down here with my command center, and it seems to be working out just fine. Now I'll take you up to the top and show you the switches that I've installed. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, as you can see I've got 3 toggle switches up there instead of 2 like I have on the other side. One is for my power, that'll turn the unit on. This one here would be for the LEDs, for the lighting of the layout, and this one here for the cobalts. Now you're wondering why I put the one in there for the cobalts. Well, there might be a time that I want to work on the layout and I don't want the cobalts being energized all the time, so I added the option of turning it off. So this gives me the option of running this lighting system by itself, or the cobalts by themselves without the LEDs on, or vice versa. So it gives me a couple of different options there. Anyhow, I think that's going to be all for the power supply. So let's see what else we can get into. Be back in a few. Alright guys, in this clip I'm going to show you how I apply ground cover to vertical surfaces. Now I've shown this this little how-to in one of my previous videos, probably about a year ago, but I noticed that other people are using the same technique, especially Robert CSX Mad did the same process. The only difference between his and mine is he just went ahead and blew on it, and I am going to use a tube. Anyhow, we'll start with the glue mixture. Is glue and water, more glue than water. And what we'll do is we'll just take my little paintbrush here that's been soaking in water so it doesn't get stiff on me, and we'll begin the process. Here's my white glue. He uses a different type of glue. I think he used Mod Podge. But anyhow, we'll just spread it on. Make sure we go around the rock molds here. And once we get a little bit applied, we'll go ahead and start applying the ground cover. Simple technique. Just take your ground cover. I got it on a piece of styrofoam. You could use anything as long as you can get on it. Now, one thing to remember is when you blow, don't inhale because you'll get a mouthful of ground cover. Anyhow, we'll start up here. And that's about all it takes, you know, and then I'll go over the empty spots that are there, fill them in at a later date. But anyhow, I'll continue this and we'll see how it turns out. Be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, so I guess you get the idea of how I install my ground cover. I will continue the rest of this, and when it's all finished I'll bring that all back to you, and maybe I'll even add a few trees in it to give you an idea what this area is going to look like. So stay tuned while I go ahead and play around with this there, and we'll see how it comes out. Be back in a few. Alright guys, before I get to show you what I've done so far on my mountain, I need to explain to you that from this area, which is mostly desert, to where the area I'm going to show you is probably 15 to 20 miles, but because my layout room is so small, I had to compress it into what you're going to see. Anyhow, I'll start panning around here nice and slowly, and as you can see, I've got a little work done. And here's my rock mold, a couple of my rock molds that you can see in frame right now. And I will continue around there, and as you can see, way back there in the upper section, that's been done also. I can't wait to get all of this done because my lower section right under this is a total disaster. Anyhow, Bobby Long Shadow Trees, I don't want you to get angry with me, but I've had these trees long before you were doing your business. I bought these off of Chinese people. I think they were called We Honest. Anyhow, they were cheap, and like 5 years ago, that's what I decided to buy. Anyhow, you stay tuned. I'm going to do a little how-to on how I colored my rocks. So, with that being said, let's get down to the workbench and we'll see what's going on. Alright guys, now that you've seen the rock molds on my layout, I will show you how I accomplished the colors that I wanted. I wanted these to be kind of like a brownish orangey color, and like you guys, I always look at videos for reference on how to do this kind of stuff. So, we'll start off with the colors I used. First I used this yellow ochre, then I used burnt umber, and then I also used burnt sienna. These are all Walmart finds, I believe, 50 cents a bottle. This one I've had for a long time. I don't even know where I got it from, but anyhow, it's a Woodland Scenics product. Anyhow, to start with, I diluted each one, and I don't remember what the proportions were. It was just till I thought it was good enough. The same thing with the umber, and the same thing with the raw sienna. Burnt sienna. So we'll start off with, if I can get the stupid thing open, we'll start off with the ochre color, and this is one of my rock molds that I did previously. I'm not too sure if I'm going to use it or not, but we'll see. Anyhow, a couple of paint brushes, a small one and a big one. I used the big one for the yellow because we're going to cover the entire area with the yellow. So let's get started. Now this is almost the full color of the yellow, but it'll get toned down once we start adding the other colors to it. I used a big brush because it covers the area a lot faster than using just a small little brush. Then what we're going to do after this is applied, as much as you can get it done, put this on the side for now, and we'll take the burnt umber. Make sure you shake it up pretty good, and don't do like I did yesterday. I was shaking it up and the cap came off and all of a sudden my arm was a different color. Anyhow, accidents happen. So now that we've got this basically covered, we're going to take the burnt umber and we're just going to kind of let it flow down in places. And I'm just dabbing this on right now, let it find its own place to go. Alright, so now you can almost see pretty much a nice difference coming along right here. So, with the same brush, let me put the caps on these because my clumsiness will definitely knock one of these over. That one and this one. Anyhow, now we'll take the raw sienna, the burnt sienna, I'm sorry, and we'll do the same thing. We'll just take it and we'll just dab it on there. Let me get it on the incline so you can see what's happening here. And we're just going to dab it on just like this, and that kind of brings out the orange that I'm looking for. And there'll be one more step after this, but as you can see, the color is looking pretty darn good if you ask me. Now it's okay if you get darker spots because rocks are not all the same. Colors vary from rock to rock, from place on geography and such. So now, after that's done, I'll close this up again so I don't knock it over. As you can see, the orange highlights are already coming out on this, but I wanted just a bit more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the burnt sienna, and I'm just going to put it on a piece of paper stock that I've had. Just like that. Just a little bitty dab. With the same brush that we've been using, what we're going to do now is a dry brush. I'm just going to go with some of the high spots of the rocks. And depending on how much red you want in there, depends on how good you're going to do this. And anyhow, that's how I accomplished the colors I wanted on my rock molds. Alright guys, if you remember in my last video I showed you this, I called it a fascia, but it actually is acting like a valance right now. And I noticed that I had it stopped right here, and I noticed that from here back to here was pretty dim. So what I did was, I gave it an angle. As you can see, I gave it a 45-degree angle, which brings the light almost all the way to the end. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 out.